it's not a point, it's a wave. Okay, I guess we're live streaming. Can we check that this time around, everybody? Are we live streaming?
Let's see it. Waiting for Festool USA.
Okay. Huh, no way.
I see you.
Wow, we're doing a double check with Min Min today. That's awesome.
I hear you. I
Okay,
see you.
so I don't have to repeat anything, do I?
Not yet.
Am I on, Garrett?
Yeah.
I'm good. Yeah. Okay, hey,
The unit didn't mess up.
the unit is on this week, baby. All right, so hey, everybody, it's 12 noon, I gather. It's Friday, right?
Yes.
Happy Festool Friday, and welcome to Festool Live. Okay, woo, let's go through the room. Over here, I have Garrett, Fumio Sato. Over here, I have Christine. Boiler up.
Woo woo.
Woo! Over here, I have Min Min.
Hi, everybody.
Okay. And behind the camera, yes, you know him as Chris,
Yes.
the unit, Cyber. Okay. Hey, everybody. Also, online, we have Brent answering all your questions. Thank you, Brent. Always appreciate that help you always give us. He's been there since day one with us. All right, everybody. This is episode 161. But I got to tell you what's happening next week. Woo! I am heading to Tampa for the Festool Rubio all-female build-off. But most important, it's at the Florida School of Woodwork. And we are so stoked to be there. We're going to have fun. Check out all our Instagram, Facebook, all our feeds. We're going to be there all week. It's going to be awesome. And that's not fair, Garrett. I feel like I'm in high school with you. Hey, you ever speak in front of a class and there's one of your really good friends out back going, that's Garrett. Okay, all right. Should I ever let him in the room? Okay, so let's get to work, everybody. I've been waiting to do this one. Check it out. I just found out there was a pocket in my shirt. Hey, Mo! And you know what's really cool? Is Marianne will appreciate this because that's where all the lint is going in. Check that out. Look at that. Woo! All right, never mind. My shirt is ergonomic. Okay, I have notes today to talk about ergonomics because I am going back to 2010, where I was privileged to train a lady. Her name was Deborah Crane. And I used to ask, because I think it's one of those catchphrases or one of those things that everybody says, ergonomics, ergonomics, ergonomics. So I said, hey, does anybody know a definition of ergonomics? Now I'm going to quote her. She said, Sedge, it's the way the tool interacts with the human form.
Whoa.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. I said, you just graduated and that was the first 10 minutes of class. But it's so much more. At Festool, it's one of those top priorities we have when we're designing a tool. Just like I've told you before, the first thought when we design a tool is dust extraction. It's not an afterthought. Ergonomics is right up there. And there's reasons why. But let's step back in time. I brought in my Greek word translator. Okay. So, Minnie.
Yes.
I'm going to take off my mic so you can hear. We're getting Minnie a mic, by the way. Okay, Minnie. Okay, in Greek mythology, or Greek, the language of Greece, or Greek, how does ergonomics come about?
Well, from the Greek word ergo, we have work. Nomic is
Nomus.
laws. Nomus.
I wrote it down for us.
Nomus. Okay, but see, I want to know where the ick went. And by the way, my granddaughter is graduating from Purdue University next weekend.
Woo!
Good
Go
job,
boiler up,
Jalen!
baby. All right, so
But yeah, so it's ergon,
ergon
For work.
stands for what?
work,
And
nomos, for laws.
oh, so that means, Minnie, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
That means it's the laws of work. Uh-huh. But it also means the science of work. Get that. Get it.
What?
Oh my God. Okay, so I dropped a couple more things on my paper, on my script this week, and I wanted to make sure you understood this. It says industrial equipment. It's into industrial equipment, which we are. Ergonomic industrial equipment can help you reduce the risk of risk of injury, safety. Okay, it helps with safety, but also fatigue among workers. So in saying all that, that is how I'm going to present the Festool system to you and the ergonomics of it. From fatigue, less fatigue, but also safety, because I truly believe the Festool system of tools is one of the safest systems out there. And we're going to cover that today, and hopefully you follow along and say, oh, I never realized that about my sanders, or I never realized that about my Tracksaw. I never realized that about my Kapex. And as I go through this, you'll see. Okay, so let's start over here. Hey, you know what I tell everybody? My mom and dad taught me this. Growing up, you always learn something new from somebody every day. I just found out that you know the V groove here in the MFT? It was designed, according to Garrett, according to Fumio, that fits in there just perfect. Isn't that something? So that is designed to hold your cell phone. Just kidding, but he was trying to tell me that earlier. Okay, let me get rid of my phone. All right. So I told you gotta be careful when you say stuff like that. All right, everybody. Over the years, people have come up and said, why is that? And that sounds kind of weird. But they'll see us using a Rotex sander out and about. This happened last weekend at Mueller. Somebody says, the Rotex skips around on me too much. I go, let me show you exactly what you need to do. So I love starting with this sander, the ETS 125 REQ. It has morphed over the years. It used to just be the ETS 125. In fact, that's what I have here. Okay, but I have something that will make sense to you momentarily. Okay, think about this. Other than Festool, everybody out there, raise your hands if you've used, and by the way, I could see you in front of your computers and your televisions. How many people have used a 5-inch random orbit sander for 15, 20 minutes, other than Festool? Raise your hands. Minnie has. She said, oh, man. Okay, so next question. What does it feel like after using that 5-inch random orbit sander? I know what you're doing at home. You're going, yeah, I get that buzzing feeling in my hand. This is so amazing. I was using my ETS 125 way back when in Fort Lauderdale, and I didn't realize that my hands weren't buzzing anymore. Or I did realize, I thought I was getting good at sanding. But the Festool sander is balanced. And when I say balance, I mentioned this earlier. Hopefully you guys remember in another Festool Live, every Festool tool has a Festool motor. We wind our own motors. Right here, look. And I'm sorry, this is my cutaway from 2007. Yes, I have a yellow pad. But you'll see how we balance the motor. See the little divots taken out of the armature? Okay, that's balanced. But more so, and I'm going to take this granite paper off, if I turn it around, see that little counterweight? That's precision ground, because what that means is that's what takes it, and as it's vibrating, it actually spins and creates that motion. So if you look at other random orbit sanders out there, and you look at the counterweight, if you ever are so inclined and you take off the pad, you'll notice it's just it's not balanced. That's what's causing it. We call it VS. We call it vibration stop. A lot of people thinks it means variable speed. Yes, we have variable speed, okay, right here on all our sanders, but it means more about vibration stop. So that sounds cool, right? It's a Festool motor. We balance the motor. We precision grind a counterweight. We balance it all together. But what does that mean? Two things. You can sand longer. That's the killer benefit of it. Less fatigue. Okay? So you don't have that. And that leads to what? This is safety. Carpal tunnel over the years if you've done it over and over and over. So with a Festool system, it's absolutely amazing that you can sand fatigue-free And some of you probably don't want to sand a lot of extra. Keep that focus right there as I grab a plug-it cord, Chris. Right when I think I don't need a plug-it cord because everything's going cordless at Festool, I need a plug-it cord today. I hope everybody has a good weekend. Yeah, that's called a hard wire. Right when you think you've prepared enough, Minnie. Oh boy. Carpal tunnel.
Oh.
Come on, you know what I meant. Minnie, you're the one who's got the accent. Yeah, whatever. Okay. So when I set this up next time, I gotta make sure I have all my cords set up. I mean, I think almost everything else is cordless today. Wow, that was a good catch. And look at that, I get sand and I have sand upwards of a couple of hours with a sander like this. And I'm gonna turn down the suction, of course, right? Look how that starts to flow, less vibration that way and less chatter. So there you go. All right, now, I heard this the other day at Purdue. They said, what hose comes with all the dust extractors? And it's this one. Or the majority of them. Oh boy. Because the CT48 now in the 36 AC comes with a 36 millimeter. But this here is a 27 millimeter end. Okay? The reason we have it is this fits all our Festool tools. Okay? Whether it's on and I'm going somewhere with this, so hang on. Whether it's on the outside of our sanders, or when you see a diameter like this, it goes on the inside, where a 36 millimeter hose for better suction will fit, see how prepared I am? Will fit on the outside. So I used to say this all the time, when it comes to Festool hoses, no duct tape, okay? Very, very smart design. But I'm going somewhere with this. See how this doesn't fit on these sanders? It has to do with ergonomics. With like a router or a Tracksaw, you use it just for a few minutes, a few passes, correct? This won't fatigue you. This will fatigue you because it's too much weight dragging around, and this is thinner and less fatiguing. Hopefully you guys and gals understood that, because sometimes we have an adapter that you can use to work on the sanders. All right, now if you use this, okay, be prepared, because dragging this hose around with a sander like this will fatigue your wrist. So I always tell everybody, get your dust extractor comes with a 27. This is great in certain applications, the little adapter to take it from the 36 millimeter down to the 27. But understand, it's also about ergonomics and more and less fatigue when we put you into the right hose, the 27 millimeter. Okay, next on the agenda, we're going to, hopefully that came across all right. Next thing we're gonna do, Chris, I'm gonna make sure this one's off, okay, is the Rotex sander. And this happened just recently. And I forget where. Oh, somebody came up to me and said, man, it was night and day when you taught me about the Rotex on Festool Live. And I said, what did you mean? And I'll show you. With the Rotex, especially the RO150, you see the small dots? It's in random orbit, right? Okay. When I turn it to the big dots, it's in Rotex. It's basically an eccentric sander with a rotary pattern that if I put pressure on this, I'm going for a spin. It's that aggressive. But did you notice where I was holding it? And this is where I coach everybody. Even at Purdue this past Monday, everybody who was using it was grabbing it back here. In other words, if you grab it like this, what does it become? A wheel. Watch. Okay? This is designed to be held like this. You want to sand with the pad. Okay, so this area here, this gets really hot in here, but this is designed to be a heat sink. This is the handle. So you have all the controls up here, and if you hold it back here, You can sand so much longer. You'll have a better finished product. And you'll be, oh my God, you'll be so much more less fatigued because you have control of the sander. This is a heat sink, once again, that's cooler than actually your palm on top. And we have proof of that. We do all kinds of testing. So that's the ergonomics, or a few things about the ergonomics of our sanders. Whew, I think I've done this 4 or 5 times because everybody wants to know. Let's go to drills. Everybody wants to know about the difference between a C drill and a T drill, okay? It's the ergonomics. Hear me out. I grab some screws like this. So this is how you hold the C drill, like this, okay, like the CXS. This is the new one, 18, okay? I always hold things like this. You'll see in a little while, okay? Just like this, so I can get what? A lot of power behind here. I didn't pre-drill any of these. Hopefully they're the self-tappers. But as I sink this, which I should have gone a little bit, there we go. It's better if you put it in forward, not reverse. Okay, watch. Think about if I'm up on a ladder. See this right here? I'm holding onto the ladder or the side of the house. I can get that power all the way in from behind. If I use a T-drill, make sure, okay, watch. Okay. To get power behind it, my hand comes off the ladder. This kind of wants to go down like this, so I have to push like this. Okay? I've mentioned that several times, but that is the basic bones of it. It's the ergonomics. Which one feels more comfortable in your hand? For me, no brainer. It's always a C drill. Or if I do a T drill, because T's are nice, they're comfortable in your hand, we've actually reduced this down here. Okay, so it's really comfortable in that wrist of yours. All right? Just, it's comfortable. But if I go up on a ladder or whatever, I just use C drills. I'm done with them. I just love them. They're so much fun. Okay, here's some things you may or not know, but it's about safety. When you're using a TPC, okay, and you're drilling a hole like this, ooh, first of all, you put it in drill and you slow it down to 1. And, okay, but what happens when you're using a big bit like this? And this happened, Jeremiah, I met Jeremiah down at Mueller. He goes, the TPC is amazing because there was one time he was using a big hole saw and it twisted his wrist. You know what I'm talking about, right? Twisted his wrist. He goes, my wrist was killing me for 2 or 3 days. With this, and I'm going to pull it out, if I ever hit a knot or something, watch. It has anti-kickback design, so you're not going to twist your wrist. That goes into the safety part of ergonomics. You can work longer because you're not nursing a twisted wrist. Okay, so that's on the TPC. I'm hoping I'm getting all these acronyms right today. Holy macanoli. Here's one that goes missing all the time. This is our BHC18. We have drill mode, and we got what? Hammer drill mode. And when it's hammer drill, it's basically spinning, and there's a piston hitting it. Okay? But what I'm getting at is, what if you're using this all day long? Yes, this is a hammer drill, the TPC, but if you're using it all day long just for hammering, you want to talk about being fatigued drilling into concrete, right? If you noticed here, I call it the crumple zone. It's not just here, but look down here, Chris, if you can get that. It's down here. So what that does, it absorbs vibration. So now I will tell you, I could barely feel anything because that's absorbing the vibration. It's always one of the first thoughts. It's not an afterthought. We want you to work longer with less fatigue, less vibration going through the tools. Okay, now, do we do that with every tool? Uh-huh. And it sounds funny I say that. I'm not gonna break out all the tools today. I'm just covering some of the top ones. Let's start over, what am I going to next? Okay, let's do Kapex.
Okay.
No, let's stay right here. Okay, so Did you notice? I don't know if you guys or gals are noticing this, but I'm holding the drill like this. I was always taught to hold the drill like this, especially a drill when I was doing drywall or concrete. It's from behind. Look where my fingers are. 3 fingers in the handle, 1 pointing forward, and 1 with a thumb. Okay? Am I okay with this? Oh, I thought we were cutting off. I was taught that way when I grab a saw, a hand saw. Okay, where my hand goes in between the top and bottom horn. And you see this? And look where my finger is. It's pointing like this. Okay, 3 fingers in the handle, 1 pointing forward. And what this does is it allows you to cut in line when you're cutting that board. It's just the way hand tools are designed, like a hand plane. I watch people use hand planes sometimes. In the tote, what's called a tote, I've always called it a tote, but it's a handle. Watch, it's the same thing. 3 fingers in the tote, and I'm pointing forward. So when you're using a hand plane, okay, and you're smoothing something, this is the comfortable position, because this, pay attention, is not comfortable. You're bunched up, and that aims you in line, and that aims you in line. Whether you're right-handed or left-handed, same thing. That's how you use a panel saw as well. That's how I was taught. Okay, now we're going to go to Festool Power Tools. And over the years, everybody would go, why don't you make a left-handed saw? Why is the handle on the Kapex that way? It's because all our tools are designed to work to be ambidextrous. And when I teach people this, they go, aha, okay? So if you've ever seen in a Festool Live how I'm running the saws, you can go back and watch. Check this out. Come in here, Chris. Look where my hand is. 3 fingers in that tote or handle like this, right? And this is where I release it with my thumb, but I'm pointing forward. I'm gonna take this a step further with the TS60 today. I'm gonna hook it up because I never, ever not cut with this saw. It is unbelievable. It's also safe. And is that part of ergonomics? Yes. Because if you think about it, we have anti-kickback design. You'll see it right here. See it right there? And that goes on here for kicking. It comes off. That's safety. That's ergonomics. But also, if you have one of the older saws, and if you've ever not, and I'm going to coach you through this because I can't teach you this enough. When you are cutting with a Tracksaw, you never start it down. You start it up, right? Like this, watch. And here I go, watch. You always start it up, right? And then, okay, and then you plunge down. You never, I've taught you this too on Festool Lives, you never start into the material. That's a no-no. And guess what happens on, I say older saws, 2 years ago model, all the way back. We had riving knives, not anti-kickback. And what would happen is you would start in a piece of hardwood and it would kick like that. Think about this. Some people would get little cuts on here, but you were never truly in danger because of why? Because the blade is recessed up in the housing in that millisecond. So it's a safe system. So when I'm cutting, I have this all set up. I'm just gonna push down my window here. Okay, I go like this every time. I cut full speed. Look where the hose is. Okay, and look what hand I'm using. I'm right-handed. I'm more comfortable with my left hand when I'm cutting outside. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna straight line rip this. I'm gonna plunge and go forward. Always bring it up full speed and release it. You know what? That, to me, never gets old. Look at the cut that this has given you, all right? So hopefully I proved my point. Did you notice I wasn't cutting to the side here? Okay, that's a little bit of the finesse of the saw. I always have it from behind, like this. And I always say, and the reason is because I want to cut in line. I'm broad-shouldered, and if I was cutting to the side, I hear people say, oh, my guide rail is not straight. I go, get behind the saw like this. Follow? Okay, just like this and push. It goes back to this handsaw, okay? You don't cut a dovetail like this, look, okay? You're right in line behind it. Follow? Good. So there's some things that translate, and sometimes it's a little finesse here and there, but you know what it all boils down to? Is how the tool's designed to interact with the human form. Sounds weird. Sounds ergonomics is always catchy. I used to call it ergonomics, but I got corrected. Okay, over here. This is the biggie. Travis was in earlier, and he says, please tell me you're going over the Kapex handle. I'm like, oh yeah. Hey, Minnie, I just realized you decorated in here, huh? Look at that. We're getting in the holiday season here, thanks to Minnie. You're the best, Min. Okay, I heard that, Garrett. All right, that's a mini one that he's holding, huh? Okay, let's talk about the Kapex handle. I used to hear, I don't like this handle, and I actually love it. There was another brand I bought just because the handle was in line here. For me, because of my broad shoulders, I can't use handles here. Watch, I can right here, because I'm right-handed, and I used to take it out and go like this when the handle is horizontal, right? But think about this. You're going to make a cut left-handed, and where's your pressure? Up against the fence. I've taught you that, right? Okay, you got to put pressure here. Here, as a right hand, is fine. But if I'm left-handed, and by the way, if it was horizontal, if I'm left-handed, okay, or I had to cut lefty, here I am here, and the handle's out here. It is so awkward for me, where whether I'm cutting right-handed or left-handed, let's make some cuts. I always lock it down from behind here with the screw clamp. Let's bring it on. I'm gonna get that shadow line on there with a KSC60. Let's bring it over. Okay, just like this. Man, this is a nice saw. Okay, let's lock it down. Ooh, let's make sure I'm at 0. All right, so I could cut right-handed. I'm putting pressure. I always put pressure. I don't know why. I don't have to because I'm using my hold down. But when I come out, okay, it's just super simple. I made you a bookmark, Christine. You betches. Okay, I'm just not in the library. Okay. So if I'm cutting left-handed, Chris, did you get that one? Okay, good. That was about the funniest video I've ever seen. Okay, so I'm going to take it like this. I'm going to bring it right up against the fence again. Okay, and I'm going to cut again. But I'm going to cut left-handed. All our tools are ambidextrous. I can't say that enough. Because somebody would come up to me in training sometimes and say, hey, can you make a left-handed saw? Can you make this? Because I'm a lefty. I go, I coached somebody once in my first year and worked them through the whole tools. And I said, oh, your tools are designed for left-handed people. Like, oh, yeah, they're ergonomic. So look where I am. Right in my zone. I should be not out here cutting. That's too thick. I'm not going to do any more bookmarks. So the regular I call it the regular Kapex. The KS120 has the same handle. It's in line. It's vertical, not horizontal. And if you use a horizontal, there's a tendency to create an arc. And if you have deflection in your rods, you'll see that in your cut. We make safe tools and we make very comfortable tools, low fatigue in them. And I can't say enough. I could go on and on and on today. But thank you. I just wanted to go over that because, boy, do we get a lot of questions. Why is the tool designed like that? Minnie, did I cover everything?
Oh.
I think I did. Oh, here's one. You want to talk about safety? I mean, if you want to talk about, I'll just talk about safety. Guess what? We're not breathing in this room, everybody.
Amen.
Dust, and we capture it at its source. I don't think that's ergonomics. I just think that's plain old safety, and it works. So Everything's designed off of dust extraction. Okay, everybody.
Chris doesn't have much to scoop up, do you?
Nope, not today.
Oh, wait till I start drilling this out some more with that bit. Okay, so how we doing there? Everybody good?
Smoke. They've been keeping me.
Hey, Minnie. Oh my God, it's both sides again. Woo! So here we go. All right, everybody. We're gonna start calling everybody off. Ray from Pensacola. Cliff from Dordogne, France. Minnie, pronounce that. Is that Dordogne?
That is the enunciation, Dordogne.
Dordogne, France.
Cliff was helping you out.
Okay, Mike M. Woo! From Austin, Texas. Doug from Zionsville. Andrew from Toledo, Ohio. Joe from Waseca, Illinois. Ed from the Big Island, and that would be Hawaii. Right, Fumio? Okay. Okay. Mac from Woodcraft, Springfield. He's always there with us. Andy G from Enfield, Connecticut. Ben and Benny from Betty's Bay, South Africa. Dana from Yokult, Washington. Chris from Malta. It's him.
Yeah.
It's Dirk from Dayton. Woo! Okay, we have Adric from Citrus Hills, California. Jim from Pensacola. A lot of people from Pensacola. Woodcraft, Dayton. Woo! All right, Jason and Yana from Granite Falls, Washington. Bam! Got you, Chris. Wake up, unit. David from Smithfield, North Carolina. Des from Harrigan, England. Brandon from Olathe, Kansas. Johnny Ringo from Searsport, Maine. Ricardo from Lake Como, Italy.
Yes.
IT's Italy?
It is today.
Or is it Lake Como, IT?
Italy.
Italy. Okay. We have Rick from sunny Blackpool, UK. I thought I didn't mean somebody in IT. Thomas from Seymour, Indiana. Rob from Minson, New Jersey. That took me 20 episodes to get that, I think. It did, Rob, didn't it? Jacob from Rhode Island. Warren from Caldwell, Idaho. Anthony from Staten Island, New York. Mark from Krimpenden, Adelec, Netherlands. Mac from Anaheim. Ray from Kansas City, Missouri. Mac from Los Angeles. That's Mac cubed. Okay, Alex from Moreland, Kansas. I know you, Alex. How are you? Hey, we have Marvin from Michigan. Warren from Batavia, Ohio. Rob from South Devon, England. We have Richard and the dog George, who's sleeping, from Newcastle upon Tyne, UK. Russ from Chichester, Bermuda, Steve. Soren from Denmark. Tom and Kelly from Eatonton, Georgia. Salim from Federal Way, Washington. Kurt from Rochester, Michigan. Brent from Louisville, Kentucky. Jeffrey from Boise, Idaho. Stevie Z from Sweden. Or Sweden. We have Aronzo from Mississauga, Ontario. Michael C. from Winchester, Virginia. David, it's her. Gwen. It's Gwen from West Virginia. David from Israel. Tam from Scotland. Willie from Herndon, Virginia. Michael from Edmonton, Alberta. Scott from Greeley, Colorado. Gail from Eden, New York. Johnny O from Atco, New Jersey. B Double Dizzle. How's the sizzle? From Bentonville, Arkansas. Merlin from Walla Walla. Jerry G from Sugar Grove, Illinois. I say Illinois all the time. All right, it's Illinois. Joe and Henry from Akron, Ohio. Sargon from Laguna Niguel, California. Jeeve. It's Jeeve.
Yeah.
It's Jeeve. It's Jeeve. How are you? It was nice meeting you at Hatville, Shaker Heights, Ohio. Jason from Fenton, Illinois. Matt from Newark, Ohio. Steve from Bellevue, Nebraska. Bill from Baton Rouge. Jeff from Burlington, Kentucky. G2G from Hampton, New Hampshire. Is that right, Minnie? G2G from Hampton, New Hampshire. Jazzy from Atlanta. Jay-Z.
Jazz.
Oh, Jazz. I thought Jay-Z was tuning in. Woo! Okay, we have Jazz from Atlanta, Georgia. The Warped Woodsman from Oregon. Did I turn that around already?
You did.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. This is so awesome. Okay. You put them together. That's not fair. Okay, Minnie. Prenhon Da from Reed, Wycliffe, North Wales. Next to Aapo, Finland. That gets so bad. G2G in Hampton, New Hampshire. We already did that. Paco from Spain. Joseph from Ohio. Jed from Ashngat. Matt from Tinley Park, Illinois. Okay, we have Paul from Cheryl and Sam from Anaheim, Arizona. We have Bland from Beaverton, Oregon. We have Natalie Medrano, Johannesburg, South Africa. Oh. Johnny from Hoffman Estates, Illinois. We have Will from Panarin, the Netherlands. Process server from Greenwich, London. Hey, we have a process server from Greenwich, London. We have Daniel from Barrettville, Switzerland. Kenneth from Oak Park, Illinois. Oliver from Southern California. Johnny G, I like that. Johnny G from Memphis. That would be Memphis, Tennessee. Jeff and Jill from Allen, Texas. Hopefully they go up the hill. Steve from Fort Wayne. Dan from Whitestone, New York. Paul from Reading, Berkshire, UK. We have Meho from India. How are you? Hope you're doing good. Chris Nanamio. I always mispronounce this. It's Chris from Nanamo. It's an easy pronunciation. Every time I'm up in BC, Vancouver Island, Nanaimo, I think it is. I always mispronounce it. I am so sorry. You live in a beautiful part of British Columbia out on Vancouver Island. Alan from Austin, Texas. How are you, Alan? Jeff from Bloomington. Benny from Nels Pruitt, South Africa. Lots of people. We have Adam. We have the mayor of Union, Maine. How are you, Adam? Or are you the governor of Maine yet? Okay, we have Jeff Covey from Lansing, Michigan. How are you, Mr. Covey? Cameron from Annapolis, Maryland. We have Cal from UK, Monty from Canton, Connecticut. We have Brian, Maumee, Ohio. I know that's a name, M-A-U-M-E-E, but I just say Maumee. Okay, Ohio. Kevin from the UK. Eric from Spenceley Design. How are you, Eric? Oh my God, he's so cool. Should I announce that? Stay tuned for Festool Shop Talk next week, everybody. We have Sandy from Prince Frederick, Maryland. Robert from Kentville, NS, Canada. Oh, Nova Scotia. All right, part of the Maritimes. Michelle from Paris. Thank you for reaching out to me. I just saw your note. I really appreciate it. I think it was on LinkedIn, Michelle. Thank you very much. Everybody was safe. Bill from Sagamore Hills, Ohio. I wish you had been here. Oh boy. Dave from Doolin, Australia. It's probably 1 o'clock there in Australia. Thank you so much, Dave. From Doan, Australia. Nicole from Whitestown, Indiana. Woo! I know her. That's my niece. Spactrician. We have Peter from the Netherlands. We have River from Bath, UK. Yo. We have Hyeth Designs.
Who is the governor?
Oh, that's the governor.
He's the governor.
Hi, governor. How are you?
Yep.
We have Hythe Woodworks Designs. Okay, everybody. I think that's it. I think so. We got everything covered? Okay, everybody. I'll say it, happy holidays. I hope everybody has a safe holiday season. From all of us at Festool, we wish everybody, I'm going to say it, a nice holiday. Be safe out there. Also, we always say this, we love you. Thank you for being part of us. This is the best hour for me every week. And you might have heard many, we're going to get her a microphone next year. She needs to be speaking more. All right. From everybody, Christina, Garrett, Minnie, Dan, who's not here today, Chris, Brent, thank you everybody for a great 2023. We're going to have a great 2024. Woo! Woo! Yeah. So have a safe weekend. We love you. And that is a wrap. That means it's the end.